Alif Lam Mim. The Roman Empire has been defeated in a land close by, but they, even after this defeat of theirs, will soon be victorious. Within a few years, with Allah is the decision in the past and in the future. On that day shall the believers rejoice. Now let us analyze the proof that this glorious verse indicates. During the years of 613 to 614, Zoroastrian and Persian armies beat the armies of the Christians and Byzantine by an overwhelming defeat. The Meccan polytheists were very happy about the defeat of Christians who were the people of the book, and they said to the Muslims, if Allah were to be the only dominant power, He would let the Byzantine be victorious and make them triumph over the Persians. So, as a miracle, the Quran gave the news of a result about the future which seemed impossible at that moment. The Byzantine was going to be triumphed over Persians, and Muslims were going to be happy with this. As a matter of fact, Hazrat Abu Bakr said the following to the polytheists who were happy about victory over Persia. Allah will not let your happiness last so long, because He informs that the Byzantine would be victorious again within a few years. Upon this, Ubay bin Khalaf offered Hazrat Abu Bakr to make a bet on this subject. They made a bet on 10 camels, whether the Byzantine would be victorious or not within 3 years. When Hazrat Abu Bakr told the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, about what had happened, the Prophet said, the word of bid, a few, has said in the verse does not express 3 years, but between 3 and 9 years. Thus he told Hazrat Abu Bakr to increase the time period and the number of camels 3 times more. This time they made a bet on whether the Byzantine could be victorious within 9 years for 100 camels. In fact, according to the Sahih of Tirmidhi, during the days of the Battle of Badr, the Byzantine became victorious over Persians in the battle, and the news of the Quran from the Ghaib became true. Hazrat Abu Bakr gave the camels, whom he gained from the successors of Ubay ibn Khalaf, to the poor upon the advice of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Now, let us see how this news is so miraculous by analyzing the situation of the Byzantine more clearly. The Byzantine Empire was undergoing such a downfall that it seemed impossible for it to survive, let alone beating the Persian army. The Persians had beaten the Byzantines in 613 in Antioch, and invaded Damascus, Cilicia, Tarsus, Armenia, and Jerusalem. In the same era, not only did the Persians but also Avars, Slavs, and Lombards declare war against the Byzantines. Heraclius, the Byzantine king, ordered the gold and silver ornaments to be melted and used to meet the expenses of the army. When they were not enough, they started to melt bronze statues too. Many governors rebelled against Heraclius, and the empire was about to be divided into several parts. all of the Byzantine lands were invaded by the Persians. To sum up, everybody expected the Byzantine to be destroyed. However, just then, the first verses of the chapter of Ar-Rum were sent down. It was stated that the Byzantine would be victorious again in a few 3 to 9 years. Heraclius invaded Armenia and beat the Persians, gaining victory. In December 627, a huge war took place between the Byzantine army and the Persians. The Byzantine army defeated the Persians. A few months later, the Persians had to sign an agreement by retreating from the places they had invaded and leaving them to the Byzantines. Thus, the victory of the Byzantine, which had been informed by Allah in the Quran, took place in 3 to 9 years, as it was emphasized in the verse.